You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family. Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Glenn the Geek, founder of the Horse Radio Network and host of Horses in the Morning, the longest-running daily podcast in the world. You are listening to the HRN Hosts Holiday episode for 2022. It has become a tradition at the Horse Radio Network for all the hosts that are owned by Horse Radio Network. Yes, we own the hosts, at least the shows. We get together and during Christmas week, and we have some fun, and we have some laughter, and we share some memories and stories. This year, we asked our terrific auditors for the questions, and we will ask the host those questions directly from the auditors. Before we get to the host, I wanted to give a great big thanks to Equine Network for putting their faith in us this year. That's the one big change for the Horse Radio Network, is we now have a new boss, and it's certainly been an interesting year for Jennifer and I. It's been a very interesting year for Jennifer and I. But let's meet everybody, starting with Jennifer, my wife and host of Horse Tip Daily, Coach Jenn. Hi, Jenn.
Hello.
Also host of Healthy Critters and several of the other Tuesday and Thursday episodes on Horses in the Morning, right?
Yes. Don't forget I do those too. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I miss anything?
Hello.
You're hosting a lot. I don't know if I missed anything else. Jamie Jennings, who I've hung out with now for 12 going on 13 years over at Horses in the Morning, 3,070 episodes.
I know, it's crazy. Hello, everyone. Happy holidays.
And you guys don't get to see this, but we're on video tonight. It's the first time we've done that. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see. I never see Jamie. We've done 3,000 episodes together.
I know, it's kind of freaking me out, actually. I feel like I need to mute you, like block you out.
You just put a Post-it note over my video. That'd be good. And then somebody who fills in, I think, a lot this year on Horses in the Morning, because Jamie and I were out a good bit. She fills in for Jamie and I and has really become our third co-host, is Lisa Wysocki. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Happy holidays.
It's good to have you this year. And Lisa, I might add, is the only one tonight with a festive holiday sweater.
I was going to say, she looks so pretty and festive. It's not fair. Got lipstick on, just ready.
I was being an elf earlier in the day, so I was giving out presents. It was a lot of fun.
How fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Yay. We have Lisa Elf with us tonight.
There we are.
And then from the Dressage Radio Show on her third month of hosting, Reese Koffler-Stanfield, all the way from Lexington, Kentucky.
Hello. Happy holidays.
Actually,
are you back in Kentucky? You're not in Florida?
Yeah, I'm still in Kentucky. I am enjoying some holiday. I haven't been home for 3 years. So I decided this year I would stay home and see my family, because I like them most of the time. So it's nice to be here.
Nice.
And Reese, you're coming up on a big milestone for your show too, right? Tell us what that is.
We are on our 700th episode, which is crazy. My co-host Philip, who will come on in a second, it's nuts. Again, the joke is I said I would do this show for 3 months, and we're at 10 and a half years. So it's been such a fun time to be part of the Horse Radio Network family and Equine Network now. And it's just been great. And truly, we're all good friends. It is funny to see you on video because this face was not video ready today, but it's really, this is one of my favorite things we do every year. I've got my glue vine, which is a tradition, and I'm ready to have a good time.
You look great. You showered. I have helmet hair still. So does Philip, I think.
My coach was here today, so a shower was necessary.
Yeah.
Speaking of Philip, all the way representing Canada, the whole country, we have Philip from the Dressage Radio Show, who Reese talked into doing this 10 and a half years ago. Have you ever, regretted that, Philip?
Maybe twice. Maybe twice, but that's it. In 10 and a half years, that's probably pretty good. Happy holidays, everyone. It's great to do this holiday show. I think this might be my fifth or sixth holiday episode where we get together. We didn't have it the last 2 years, I think. So this is great to, get together with everybody and bring together the family of HRN and Glenn and Jenn. I mean, I miss you guys. You used to produce, our episodes. First it was Glenn for a couple of years, then it was Jenn for a couple of years. And now we have
staff. Now we have staff.
Kind of staff. Yeah. But
either that or producers can only take so much dressage and then they're out.
Right. Yeah. I think that's it because our last producer, just recently did a couple of years, and now we've got another new producer and whatever. So
they're bored already.
Yeah, they get extremely bored. I don't know how they get through a year of dressage episodes, but hopefully it's not too bad.
Well, we're glad to have you guys, and I'm glad you're still doing it after all these years. It really has become a family, and we have one more, and she's the rookie. She's the new one in the group tonight, and her co-host actually is sick and couldn't be here. Joy from Retired Racehorse Radio wanted to apologize to everybody. She's really sick, and she had the mandatory flu that's going around that apparently, knock on wood, we're all going to get, right? So she's not here, but her co-host representing Retired Racehorse Radio, Kristen, is here. Hi, Kristen.
Hello. Happy holidays.
So when did you start this year, right?
Yeah, I started co-hosting this year, but I've kind of been around for a while. I was on Horses in the Morning a bunch back in the Horse Nation days. And then I've been a guest on Retired Racehorse Radio too. So it's neat to see it from all sides and now be a co-host. So, but yeah, started earlier this year.
It's funny. A lot of our hosts start in one way or another on Horses in the Morning. Don't they, Jamie? We've trained a lot of them over the years.
We
the gateway
suck
drug.
them all in. The gateway drug.
The gateway drug to podcasting.
That's good.
They suck you in. They're like, you'll be fine.
Yeah. 3 months tops.
3 months tops. You're good to go.
I wonder how Equine Network would feel if I changed the tagline for Horses in the Morning to the gateway drug. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I think the lawyers would like that or not.
Totally fine. It'll be totally great.
What's Jamie always say? Ask forgiveness, right?
Yeah, not permission.
It's a good way to get through life.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're coming back with the first question. I want you guys to think about it. I'll tell you what the first question is, and we're going to start with the rookie. So the first question is from Obi is a 3-part question, so we'll see if the rookie can handle it. If you were a horse, what breed would you be? What discipline would you ride? And what would be your stable vice? Which I really like that part of it. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
She swallowed hard as they walked into the start box. She could feel his muscles tense under her leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great ride. She didn't have to ask. He galloped out of the box and across the field toward their first training level course. His ears pricked. Her heart pounded. He attacked each obstacle with confidence, clearing them with room to spare. A huge smile broke out on her face as she crossed through the finish flags. She leaned forward and buried her face in his neck. Their bond of love and trust blocked out all else. This love story is brought to you by Elevate. Research proven to have superior bioavailability. Elevate supplies the essential vitamin E often missing from the equine diet. Its all-natural formula supports healthy muscle and nerve functions. The horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. Call 859-873-2974 or visit kppusa.com to order today.
Kristen from Retired Racehorse Radio. If you were a horse, what breed would you be? What discipline would you ride? And what would be your stable vice?
I feel like this is like a little bit of a layup, but I would be an off-track thoroughbred because I ran high school track. I was really, really bad at it, so needed to find a new career. Track star was not going to be in my future. And I'm also like kind of tall and leggy and slim, like the thoroughbreds I all know. So, and I would be a ranch horse because that's what I ride now, but I still enjoy my cows. Even if I'm the horse myself, I think I would be chasing the cows around like my thoroughbreds do. And my stable vice would be stall walking. Because if you've ever called me on the phone, I am walking around the house. It is actually really hard for me to sit here and talk to you without walking around. So
you're a fidgety thoroughbred. Sure. It's perfect.
I am. That's not why I was drawn to them. Apparently, I recognized myself. So here we are.
Philip, I'm curious. What's your pick from the dressage show?
I actually think I might be a quarter horse or a stock horse. The kind of horse that you can get on every day. Really reliable, dependable, steady Eddie. but I'm not getting anywhere like faster than anyone else. And I'm not, I don't like the crowd. So I'm not a performer like we try to inspire our dressage horses to be. Just a guy who's going to be there every day and do the job. And
they would call you as grade ranch broke. There you go.
Yes,
he would have everything blue too. A blue quarter sheet. Yeah. He'd have everything blue. A blue quarter sheet. Everything blue. Yeah. Maybe a little gray mixed in, but mostly blue.
And what would your stable vice be, Philip?
I don't know. I think it'd probably be like just chewing on everything. I'm kind of always hungry, so gotta keep me occupied with fence boards and whatever else. If there's no grass
you're that jerk who paws at feeding time and bangs the door.
Yeah.
Like consistently though, like when the hay net's gone, because he's banging. He's banging like ahead of it. You've got to feed.
Yeah. Like it's not even done yet. It's getting low. If I don't have a plan for my next meal or I don't know when it's coming, then of course I gotta be telling everyone.
That's true. That. Fair.
Well, let's go to your co-host, Reese, from the Dressage Show. What do you think, Reese?
I'm a chestnut mare. Let's be real.
Don't tell her what to do.
No.
Just negotiate on her terms, right?
Negotiate on my terms. There's no hacking. I don't like hacking. I don't want to be out of my arena. Like maybe a walk around the barn. That's it. And is there? I don't. Do horses drink? Because I definitely like it. So fine.
Would that be cribbing?
Yes, probably. I'd be like cribbing. I'd be a chestnut mare. I'd be like, don't talk to me. Not ready. But I'm ready to show up when I need to show up. I may be showing up a little quick and a little late, but I'm always there. So I'm a chestnut mare. Definitely a dressage horse.
She couldn't have got that any more right. Who was last to get here tonight and who didn't have their mic hooked up? The chestnut mare.
Me, chestnut mare. Well, my Zoom wouldn't work. I was like, are you serious? Like, why are we doing this on camera? I'm not camera ready. I'm chestnut mare today. That's what I'm going to say. Chestnut mare.
Doesn't even matter what breed. You're just a chestnut mare.
She just gave you a mare stare. Yeah. Hardcore.
I'm gonna crib and stare at you.
So far, I think you guys have nailed yourselves so far. I'm agreeing with all of this. Let's go to Lisa Wysocki.
Oh dear. So I would be a Hefflinger, and the reason for that is I'm really curious about the world, and I like to kind of get into things. And my discipline would be trail riding because I love hiking. And so if I'm not riding, I'm usually out in the woods hiking someplace. So I would be hiking. And my stable vice would be that I would be Zeus's best friend. And together, together we would get into everything and just destroy the whole world.
Like it.
He doesn't need
Halflingers are trouble.
Yeah. Oh, they're so much fun. But they're so much fun.
Their hair is so great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good hair.
Yes.
All right, Jamie.
Much like Kristen, I would be an OTTB. However, she's tall and I'm a little shorter and stockier. And so I think I would be one of those off the track thoroughbreds. And then I would be a polo pony. I don't know why. I've always liked sports and I'm a little bit busy. And my stable vice, I'd be a stall walker because much like Kristen, I can't sit still very well. And so I'd be a short, chunky, off the track thoroughbred who plays polo. Done.
That's perfect.
I like it. A mare, a little gritty. Yeah. In there. You'd be the pushing one. The one that gets in there and pushes. I love it.
I'm going to cut somebody out there. Like it's going down. I'm going to get the ball.
Yeah. I love it. You would. I'd bet on you for sure.
These are so good. All right. I'm going to go to my wife. I'm going to go to my wife, Jennifer. Oh, yeah. I have no idea on hers.
You got to think about it, Glenn, because you're next, buddy.
I don't.
Yeah. Maybe there's a dating game.
What is yours?
I'm going to be a Cleveland Bay.
Oh,
ooh,
they're pretty. I like it.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're perfectly happy to work really hard, but they've got pretty strong opinions on how it gets done.
Love that.
That's good. That's solid.
And my occupation would be, I'm going to be the guide's horse on one of those nose to tail trail rides out west. Because then I could be at the front of the line, and anybody who got out of line, I could lay my ears back at them and explain to them how it's really done.
It's true. I like it.
And
That's awesome.
Keep everybody in line. Yeah.
Keep everybody in line.
That's
Love
you
that.
to a T. Yeah.
And continuing on the same vein, my stall vice would be I would be the stall aggressive horse who bit everybody who tried to go by.
All of that fits.
The cone out front.
Get the cone.
I have the bite marks to prove it that all of that fits.
You have to stay in line, Glenn. Like, be better.
All
Stay in
right.
line. Be nice.
Mine is Percheron. Because I like going steady and slow. That's good for me. That's about as fast as I want to go. And pulling a carriage, of course. Maybe a wedding carriage occasionally because I like flashy and be all dressed up and all of that. And my vice, I've been a fingernail biter forever, so it has to be cribbing, right? I mean, so I think that's. I haven't met a Percheron that cribs, but I'm sure there is one that does it. So, yep, and occasionally has bad feet. Because all Percherons occasionally
That's
have
true
bad
too.
feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep, they do.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
I
there
didn't
you
know
go.
that.
Yeah, Percherons are known for abscesses. Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's you.
All I can visualize is your nasty abscessing feet, Glenn. Gross.
Merry
shoot.
Christmas.
Yeah.
exactly.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Give me some Epsom salt. He needs a bath.
That's great answers, guys. That was a fun question from Obi. Thank you, Obi, one of our terrific auditors. Now,
It's actually the name of her horse. So
Is it?
Yeah,
well, she uses that as her Facebook name.
exactly.
Yeah. All right. So,
Obviously, she doesn't want me to say her name, so she's hiding.
Okay.
It's fine.
Good question, though.
Yeah,
don't call her out. Witness protection. All of that.
exactly.
Yep. Carol sent the next one in. And this we get every year. And it's fine because I want to know this answer every year. And it's the one we always have to think about, all of us. It's favorite episode this year. And I'm going to start with Lisa, who doesn't have her new show yet, but this will give her a chance because I know she already has a favorite episode and hasn't even
She's
started.
done one. I
One
guess I can
recorded, and that'll be the favorite.
Hey,
Yeah.
There we go.
It's good, girl.
Lisa.
You got to
There we
start
go.
somewhere.
So it's the new show is called Celebs with Horses, and we were able to interview William Shatner, the captain of the Starship Enterprise, and he's a true horseman, Glenn, isn't he?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he really
Goes
is.
back a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he was just a riot, and I wish we could say some of the stuff that we can't say about the interview because we had a blast, and but it's going to be coming on sometime in January, we hope. And so even though it's not done yet, my interview with William Shatner is going to be my new favorite episode. And Glenn, this is really hard to toot my own horn. It really is.
Well, get used to it. That's your job now.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome.
I can't wait till
You're welcome.
next holiday show, and you're gonna have a whole bunch to pick from. So
We hope.
it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for your show.
And
Thank
she
you.
and I'm going to give her a compliment. William is known, and he'll tell you this, for not liking to do interviews, especially podcasts. He hates podcasts, and she did a terrific job with him. She had him light and bubbly and fun the whole time. So
He didn't like doing real radio interviews either, because I interviewed him like 15 years ago, and he was good job. Way to get him to talk. Nice.
Yeah. Well, but we were talking horses, you know.
yeah,
I mean, if he loves his horses.
yeah, he does. It was
Awesome.
It came across in that too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's head next. Let's go to Jennifer next.
Oh no, I'm up. I'm going to limit amongst my choices episodes that I actually hosted or co-hosted
Okay.
because there's too many otherwise. And the April episode I did with Mary Kitzmiller was my absolute favorite. We talked about micro shaping, and that for some reason that one just really resonated with me. And I'm sorry, I'm not as entertaining as everybody else. I'm kind of geeky, so the training one is the one I picked.
Well, that got a lot of good response too.
I love this. I want to know more, Jen. I'm going to be like, call me later. We need to
Okay,
talk
we'll
about
talk
what
about
you just
micro
talked about.
shaping later. Okay.
What is that? And I want to know more. I'm like,
Okay.
what episode? I'm going to write it
And that
down.
was on
Okay.
Horses in the Morning, right, Jennifer?
Awesome.
Yeah, episode 2912.
Okay.
What?
There you
Oh,
go.
that sounds amazing.
Very good. All right, Jamie, you're up.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one when you've done, 3 a week for, ever. But I started thinking about it. I'm like, what is my favorite thing so far? And to be honest, when I do this show, I just come upstairs and I do my thing and everybody has to be quiet and I have to do my show. But there's one thing that I do on Horses in the Morning that my family loves, and that is weird news. Every Wednesday I do a segment on weird news, and it's horse related or not. And it's just weird people doing weird things and we talk about it and it's hilarious. And my son and my husband, that is the only thing they listen to. Just fast forward to that part and they listen. So I love the kind of family connection that we have with that. The other thing that I did think of, and I was like, duh, episode 3000 was so fun. Glenn came out to my farm and we were able to do it. We had my assistant farm boy came on the show and it was on camera. So everybody got to see him. It's just really, really fun to have you guys here and to have that milestone and to have everybody appreciate it so much. And the very inappropriate comments that I got from all you women about my assistant. I took names.
I gotta search up Farm Boy. What's happening? What?
Oh yeah. Listen,
I'm looking now. What are you
I told
about?
him, I said, at any moment, you just tell me and I will have a line of women's daughters around the block for you.
He does chores and he's good looking. What?
And he rides.
Yeah.
He rides. He's 6'4".
He's hired.
He's hired. No, shut up. You can't have him.
Well, I'm gonna go next only because I'm gonna back up what you did. That was my favorite episode of the year for sure. Episode 3000 at your house, and just being out there and just getting to do that milestone. There's not too many podcasts in the world that ever hit 3000, so it was kind of fun to do that together. But then I'm gonna add also, like you did, the post show. We do a post show for the auditors every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's just been so much fun for us to talk. And we don't, like most of the time, we don't talk about horses in the post show, but it's just been fun to talk about life and movies and TV and just goof off and have a good time and know that the auditors love the post show. So
there are many times where I've said, nobody is listening to this right now. This is complete garbage. We're talking about nothing. All right. I'm going to give a prize to the person who says the word yellow daisy flower. And then hundreds of people will send me this email. Yellow daisy flower, I want the prize. Like, what are you listening to garbage for? It's nonsense.
That is true. All right. So, Reese.
Yeah. First of all, 3,000 episodes, you guys, like, I respect. We're at 700 and like 3,000 is amazing. So congratulations on that. That is a huge milestone. That
I think that's a short list of podcast, like Glenn said, podcasts to reach that number.
Incredible. Congratulations, you guys. That's huge. But yeah, so I mean, Philip and I, we've gotten to the point, when the podcast first started, people are like, what radio station? Like, what do we? But now we are very lucky. We get to pretty much call, I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people. And Katie Durheimer was a great interview. She was this summer after the WEG in Herning, Denmark. I've known Katie for a while. We've stabled next to each other. And so it was a friend that went to the World Equestrian Games, and she just tells her story. And I just think it's great for everybody to hear how hard this person has worked. And I know how hard she's worked. And that was really special for me to have a friend, but really somebody that had ridden at the World Equestrian Games on the show. So that was a big one for me.
Very cool. Philip?
Yeah.
My pick is another Katie or Kate Shoemaker, who was on the Paralympian team. And, we talked about everything, like her journey from, starting riding. Like, we just covered so much, and she was a great interview, really gracious with her time. And then the whole trip, like they went to Germany first, and then going from Germany to Tokyo, and just a fantastic interview. I think that was kind of earlier in the year, but she's a lovely person, and all the Paralympians are great, and they work twice as hard as the able-bodied riders, and they overcome so many challenges, and she's just inspiring. And then she talked about coming back from the Paralympics, and then the trip to the White House, because the Paralympians and the Olympians get invited to the White House, and so we covered so much ground in that interview, and she did a great job.
That was that was a great one, Phil. You're right. Yeah, that was an awesome interview. Both those interviews, if you have a chance, like, so inspiring.
You can't change your answer, Reese. You already picked
Oh no, I mean, I hold strong, but that was also, I'm with Phil. Like, that was an awesome interview. Both those ladies, like, I mean, when we get to interview Olympians, like, you're just sit a little taller in the chair, but then you go ride a little bit better the next day. And it's an honor that we get to do that, for sure.
Did we tell Reese that we had Charlotte Desjardins booked for Thursday night?
Yes. We're talking. I know you're lying. I know you're lying, but someday it will happen. Like, I know it.
She's the one you're like trying to get.
I mean, I don't think I could do it though. I'd be so nervous. So we do say, Phil and I are a little nervous about, like, when you get an Olympian on, you're kind of like, oh, but they're so good. They're so used to media and they're really fun. So it's an honor. It's a perk of the job.
Well, Kristen, you're brand new. You've done less episodes than anybody here. Do you have a favorite from this year?
Yeah, I was like, I don't have as many to choose from. And Retired Racehorse Radio, we haven't hit the triple digits yet, but we're on our way.
Close though, right? You're almost at 100.
Very close.
Yeah.
Yep. And I say we, but really, Jamie, you set the stage to give me big shoes to fill, but, also built a great network and community with Retired Racehorse Radio that's made the job very fun to step into. So thank you very much for setting such a stage for me.
It was such a tough call for me. I couldn't quite get all the horses ridden and all the podcasts done and all this. And I was like, I just don't know what to do. And then Kristen took over, and it was just the best thing to happen. To how I felt about it, I was handing it to somebody who was way more capable and connected than I ever was in that industry. So it was such a relief and a blessing for you to take over. And I'm so thrilled you do, and y'all are doing a great job. And your social media is amazing, and the episodes are great, and the guests are way better than when you've taken and run with it. So proud.
Well, thank you. I will tell myself some of that is true, but we're having a lot of fun with it. And actually, one of my favorite episodes, it's funny that you mentioned, like bringing in a different network, because pretty early on, I realized, I was like, oh man, they've given me a platform where I can just call people up and be like, yo, you want to be on my podcast and talk about stuff? And for some reason, these people are like, yeah, sure. Okay. So pretty early on, we had Natalie Voss on from Pollock Report, and it was right after she had released this fascinating series of articles about young people trying to get a foothold in the racing industry, because it is a notoriously tough industry for young people to get started. It's very much of like, who do you know? Who were you related to? And we had Natalie on, and I think we got into like some pretty heavy, gritty stuff pretty quick in the conversation. And I remember while we were talking, thinking, this is really cool that I have a platform where we can do stuff like this. So we started talking about, like, how is it to be a young person in the industry? What's it like to be a young woman in the industry? Where is aftercare's place in this industry? So we really hit on some pretty cool stuff. And that was definitely one of the highlights so far. Hopefully more to come.
Very good. And I know both of you, Kristen and Jamie. And Kristen, your shoes are literally twice as big as Jamie's. So...
Well, yeah, this is true. I have giant feet.
That's funny.
Next question. That was Carol. Thank you very much, Carol, for that one. The next one is from Flossie. I love this question. We've never had this before. Have the co-hosts ever had a major disagreement about the show, or is everything always rosy and cheery among the co-hosts? All right. We have to start with Dressage on this one. So how about you guys? You've been together 10 and a half years. Any fighting?
No.
No, we got to ask this question. Yeah,
they're both answering. Earlier. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Philip, go first.
Okay. Sorry. We got to ask this question, I think, when we did after... What do you call it? The after show thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And during that, I said, yeah, everybody fights. And then Reese said, no, we've never had it. And then, so I guess it was, kind of a one-sided disagreement or argument. And then our answers were also one-sided and disagreeable. So I'm going to change my answer from that to no, we never fight. It's all rosy, all good. We're friends, that kind of thing.
God, he's a smart guy.
He's smart.
She's a chestnut mare. You got to watch out.
She's a mare, man. I'll kick you under. I'll kick you all the way to Canada. No, you know what? We truly are friends. At the end of the day, like, you know, Phil and I, like,
yeah, but you're that way with your spouse too. And there's, you know,
I mean, I kick him in the middle of the night. Let's be real. I'm a chestnut mare. But there was one time, like, I think technically Phil and I are really pretty aligned in how we train horses. But there was one time of the leg yield, Phil. Phil and I ride leg yields totally different. So if you want to get really technical, we both do that differently. We're like recording something and Phil's like, cut, and I was like, what
what's the cut? And I'm like, wait a minute, that's how you ride the leg yield? And then Reese was like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, no. And then so there was a little back and forth about that for a couple of months. It's like,
I think Paul, it was like, okay, kids, we're calling it
research material. Yeah.
We researched it and came back, and I was like, in this book right here, the manual, this is what it says. And he was
and then I brought a different book from a classical, from a classical German trainer, said, no, this book says,
this. So. We did. We came with research. I mean, I was like, oh, whatever. I went to because we started a book club, which was so great. I don't remember when we did it, but we have a lot of books, which is awesome. But I was like, I'm going to figure it out. And I was like, whoo, and told him. And then, So actually, that's literally
sounds like that one's still not settled to me.
Right?
It's not, and it will never be.
It will never. So I teach leg yields now, and I was like, okay, so there's two schools of thought with this. Like, this is how I teach it. I think I'm right. If you were to talk to Philip, he says it this way. So
he's the crazy one.
Yeah, I'm the chestnut mare.
He's from up north. He's from up north where they do things differently, eh?
Oh, he's Canadian, eh?
I mean, normally Canadians will not fight. Phil normally is like, sure, Reese, like whatever. But he was like, no, you're wrong. I was like, you're wrong. And but actually that's the funny thing. There are two schools of thought on that. There are two ways to think about it. And I respect his. I don't understand it. And I think he's wrong. But
Reese is going all chestnut mare tonight.
Hey, Reese.
Yes.
Hand me the shovel. Just give it to me.
Right?
All right. So, Kristen, your co-host is not here for Retired Racehorse, so that gives you the opportunity to say whatever the hell you want.
I know, and I wish she was here to tell her side of this story. So yeah, I know. It's like, oh, we've only known each other a few months. We finally met in person at the makeover, and my day job is communications manager for the Retired Racehorse Project. So the makeover is like my Super Bowl, and I'm going like 16 hours a day, every day. And Joy and I very ambitiously planned this super cute social calendar for the makeover where we were going to have our featured makeover riders. We were going to get together with all of them. Joy and her boyfriend were going to bring donuts and coffee. We were going to have breakfast. We were going to get together. And then the makeover started and that went immediately out the window. And every day I get these cute little texts from Joy that was like, are you going to make it to the thing? And I'm like running across the horse park in a golf cart. And I would just sit back like, no. Joy was like, I don't know if you're mad at me or not.
Yeah, did you crush her? Yeah.
So nice.
I know. And I was so mean to poor Joy. And she still likes me. So that says a lot about Joy.
I've seen you at that job though. And my gosh, you just don't stop. Like the only time I got to talk to you when I competed at the makeover, you were like, get in the golf cart. We got to go.
That's the best time to catch me. You physically get in the cart with me and we go somewhere else.
I'm next year. I'm coming over.
Oh yeah. Just jump in.
I'm going to jump in your cart. I'm like, what? This is
yeah, look for the golf cart flying by at 90 miles an hour. It'll be Kristen.
Yeah, there I went. So yeah, but Joy really carried the team at the makeover because I was carrying the other team. So
that's I think that's Joy's, if Joy had a subtitle, it'd be carrying the team because she really does.
Pretty much.
She really does.
You know who really came in clutch at the makeover? Her boyfriend brought us a pie and all of us upstairs in the press room, we demolished that in about 30 seconds flat.
He works for a pie company's family and they sent us one of those berry pies and oh my God, is it good? It's really good.
It's a free commercial for Zach's Pie Company. Everybody go.
There you go.
Look that one up.
You gotta be friends with him, Phil. Like what?
Lisa, I can't ask you this one. So So unless
I'm just hanging in, listening.
Yeah. Did you and William Shatner have an argument, or are we good?
I don't think so. No,
Okay,
I think I would remember that. Yeah.
All right. Jennifer's kind of in the same boat because she pretty much does the show by herself. So, Jamie, I'm going to go first on this one.
Please do.
I think we had more. Our disagreements have and we've been together 3,000 episodes. We've had disagreements, but they've always been mostly content related, I feel like. And I think earlier on, we had more disagreements than the older we get. It's just like, well, screw it. Whatever. We can do whatever. I think we have less disagreements now, or I just don't care anymore. I don't know what the different. Oh, she's not agreeing. Look at that face.
That's a very contemplative face.
Now,
Oh my God.
He's processing.
We just don't care as much anymore, and it was totally fine, and everything is fine.
When's your next recording? I want to listen to that.
Yeah, come on. We're getting on tomorrow. Now it's game on.
When my wife says those things, I know that it's definitely not fine.
It's totally
just
fine.
a clue, Glenn. It's not fine.
Bill's ducking it through the Zoom. Like, do you see him get down there? He's nervous.
We're all uncomfortable.
No, just recently, we had an incident, and I believe my response to you, Glenn, was I didn't respond. And then the next day you started explaining why you did what you did. And I remember saying, I am not a child and you do not have to explain those things. Yeah, it's not right. Reese, I see your face.
I don't even remember what it was.
Oh, this is getting good now. No, we have not had this. What's happening?
That's the advantage of getting old. I don't remember what it is.
No, sitting up. I'm listening now.
Here's the thing. So in this post show, I had something that I really
that one needed to come down.
And I talked about it, and apparently somebody was like, so one person wrote an email. Oh, she's not.
It was more than one.
Oh, like who listens? 3 people? Like, I don't know. And so anyway, he edits it all. I just cut it.
Yep.
And didn't talk to me about it. He just cut it. He cut it. And I'm pretty sure that now looking back, you might have done this a lot more. I don't listen to the show, so you probably edit me out all the time.
Yeah.
That is just pissing me off even more. So there you go.
In my defense, at the beginning of that segment, she said, you might want to cut all this out. Literally at the beginning of the segment.
I didn't think you would.
She didn't mean it. Yeah.
Yes, this is awesome. Tell me more.
All right. Well, Flossie, I don't appreciate your question after all. So.
I love it.
I'm really sorry you asked.
It's a party.
My palms are sweating right now. I'm like mad again. That's okay.
It's hot in my office
now it's a real family gathering. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm like,
exactly,
now it's a holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just bring up old fights or something. All
right, let's
totally
get
over it. It's fine now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on the show, Jamie and I are going to talk about leg yields.
You have me on your team. I'm on it. I'm correct.
All right, we're going to do
a poll.
We're going to do one more as part of this main show. One more question, and then we'll do a little bit of an after show for the auditors.
We're talking about what team leg yield you're on.
See, it's going to be a short conversation for me because I've never done one. I really don't know what one is, so I really have no opinion at all.
Well,
I'm going with
just ask Reese how to do it wrong, and she'll direct you.
just ask how the really.
I have to.
You know what stuck with me, Reese, on that was the fact that you were describing something that you do, and he was like, "Cut, girl." I would have lost my. I was like, "Why are you cutting me right now?"
That's what I did. I was like, "I'm sorry, excuse me." I feel like mine's the easy way.
Yeah, I got the real excuse.
We'll talk about it. Oh, we'll see whose team you're on.
The head swipe. Excuse me. What'd you say?
All right. Final question for the main part of this show is: I have so many choices here. I'm going to ask this one. Rebecca asked, if you could have a career outside of horses, what would it be? So, Kristen.
Dead. Yeah.
It's like the pause was intentional.
What?
The what? The who? The horse? What? No, I would actually love to be like somehow some person who could exist by doing crafts in a small cottage and selling them. That's not really a career, but that's what I would like to be doing.
It's a career.
Marry somebody.
You don't make any money, but it could be a career.
Have an Etsy store. Let's talk about this Etsy store.
I'd be an
Need an
Etsy
Etsy
professional
plan,
of
I'm
doing
game.
something. I don't know what it is yet, but when I find out, I'll let you know.
Small business craft. You just let me know, girl. I'll be your first customer. I love it.
Are you crafty at all, Kristen?
Actually, I'm like, here's my.
She whips out a craft. She's like, I got one.
Here's some knitting. Knitting
there
that I need
it
to
is.
finish.
There you go.
Christmas.
Oh my
Dog
God,
sweaters.
Dog sweaters, yeah. There you
Dog
go.
sweaters.
I need to figure out. I could still bring horses in if I knit, the ear bonnets. that
Kristen, you
dressage
need to
people
get
like.
together. You need to get together with Mary Kitzmiller, and you need to knit the socks she didn't knit. She knitted 3 socks.
Oh, that's an idea.
You need
For
to get
like a
together with
three-legged
her.
person, or
Yeah, and help out. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Lisa next on this one.
Well, see, that's so easy for me, Glenn, because I have a career outside of horses. So
There
I
you
write
go.
books.
Bragger.
I've always loved horses. I've always loved books. And so I write books and I love horses and I ride horses and I train horses and I teach people to ride horses. And then I go write some more books. And so I love it. It's fabulous
Can
for
we
me.
throw in that Jamie and I and Horses in the Morning are in most of her books?
Yes.
And Jamie
And the mysteries.
may or may not have been the murderer in the last book.
Yes.
Got to read it to find out.
Yes, she might be a murderer. Look at that face. I mean, doesn't that look like the face of a murderer right there?
Don't answer that.
Did a
kids.
minute ago.
Don't answer. She knows where we live.
So, Lisa, we have to give a plug here because I'm so excited, and these guys probably don't know about this, but tell everybody the exciting news about revolving around the books.
Yes. So the Horse Radio Network has been part of all except the very first book. There's 5 of the mystery series out, and it's been optioned for television. And Philip, we're coming your way. We're coming up to Canada to film, and sometime in the spring or summer in Saskatchewan. So I don't know if Saskatchewan ever gets to be spring or summer, but there we go.
I've never been to Saskatchewan, so.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
they said maybe we'd be filming some in Alberta too. So we're hoping that maybe by this time next year that the Cat Enright mystery series will be on.
Now, is it a TV series? Yeah.
The TV series. I think right now they're calling it Enright, but that could change. But we're very excited, and we're really trying to figure out who's going to play Glenn in
I
the
told you
the
Brad
series.
Pitt's perfect, but
Yeah.
nobody
of
agrees
course.
with that.
yes.
I think
What do you think,
George
Jen?
Clooney.
I think
That'd
Jen
work.
needs to answer that.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, Jamie's going to play herself, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yes, I would like to do that.
As if we had any say over any of that.
Yeah, which apparently we don't. Now, don't you
No.
guys see Jennifer Lawrence playing Jamie? Couldn't
Yes.
you see?
Oh,
don't
that's
you
a good
think
one.
so?
Yeah,
Totally see
yeah,
that.
I see it.
Yeah, we're like this too. So it's
I could tell. Yeah, I
just
can
call
tell.
her out.
I think she's from Kentucky.
Congratulations, Lisa. That is big.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
big.
that's awesome.
you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Thanks.
terrific. And I'm excited to see who plays me.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I actually, I'm just thinking you might kind of put your mind to the fact that you might be written out. of the
Yeah, I
script.
kind of think. Yeah, kind of thinking that's going to happen. Actually.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, what would you do?
I was thinking about this and I was like, wait a minute. There's something like I've always wanted to do, and it's just be a heavy equipment operator.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
They
I'm
make so much
fascinated
money.
by like the shows on, I guess it's National Geographic or History Channel, like the Yukon Gold, I have a friend who, like his company is heavy equipment. So I'm just always trying to get him to allow me to drive, one of the big excavators or something like that. I think that's the cool. I mean, I realized that after 5 minutes of like doing that, I would not want to do it as a job, but I think that's, I think it's pretty cool.
Phil, I'm just saying, I mean, I think you're really good at your job and your side gig,
aside from the leg yielding gate.
Well, yeah.
But I'm telling you, from anybody who owns a farm, for the amount of money you pay an excavator,
Oh, yeah.
maybe
Oh,
more
yeah.
lucrative than a horse
Yes.
trainer.
Yeah.
Just
Construction,
saying.
landscaping. Yeah.
Yeah,
all
you
of
build
it.
Yeah.
rings, you fly all over the world. Like I'm encouraging this. This is a good idea. You're
Reese
a very
wants
good
to hire
trainer,
you.
though. in a heartbeat. I'm like, Phil, I've been always wanting that outdoor arena. How do you feel like you can test it here?
Okay.
He'd be good at it. He's
All
a
right.
very
Well,
good
I
horse
mean, it's
trainer,
just
though.
I'm used to, kind of, a little bit telling an animal what to do, whatever. I think heavy equipment, you just pull the levers and push the buttons, and I think that
as long as you don't go in an
satisfying.
angle sideways, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Because obviously you don't know how to do that. So
As long as you're flat for an arena, like that's what we need.
all right, Jamie.
I think we did this question before. And aside from a career in radio, which I had, which I loved, I probably would want to, and this sounds weird, but I've always been a fan of stand-up comedians, and I would have loved to give that a try. I actually took a stand-up comedian lesson in Atlanta, which was really fun. And you just get up and you tell funny stories and make people laugh. And that's kind of what I've done. I just don't have to travel and I don't get paid as much.
I can see you doing that, actually. I can that.
too.
Apparently,
Yeah, me
it's a
too.
tough road. It's hard. But
I wouldn't want that. I think the life surrounding it is very tough. To travel and be in those clubs and all that kind of stuff. And that's tough, but I don't know. That would be what I would have liked to try.
There you go. Very good. And
What about
then
you?
Jennifer.
You probably know this one, Glenn. No, you don't. Archaeologist.
Yes, I would have guessed archaeologist.
That's cool.
She watches every archaeology show that's ever been put anywhere.
You could use Phillips excavator.
Well,
have a whole crew
Pull the
here.
topsoil off, anyways. Yeah,
And
we
you
can
take
combine
topsoil.
careers.
That's
I'll stand around and make fun of you. Lisa will write a book about it.
I will. Yes. There you go.
And Kristen will be in charge of getting everybody around the site in the golf cart.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. Reese, what part do you have in the archaeological
Well,
company?
actually, I think I could do a team. So, Dorky, I have a master's degree in international commerce and diplomacy. So I could be the diplomat. I could organize.
Oh, you could get
Getting
arrangements
to
so
the
we could
site.
dig. So we could
Yeah.
have digs in all kinds of
Yes.
exotic places that
And I
that
very
have
much had
political
to make
unrest.
that. I can make that. I can make, theoretically, I had to make that choice. Actually, I graduated from school and everybody took the State Department test and I was like $25. And I was like, it's not the money, but do I actually want to work for the State Department? Because that's also a tough life. You move every 3 years. And so it really was pretty obvious that if I went there, I probably couldn't ride, which is why I'm still trying to work on the riding career. But yeah, so I said, you know what, I talked to, I can't remember if we were married yet, my husband now, and said, what do you think? And he's like, try the riding thing. And if not, because that is a tough life. That's it. The deployments are tough and it's hard on your family and that kind of stuff. So I could be the diplomat that organized you guys getting Phillips big machines there, getting Jamie to work the clubs. So yeah, so I would have enjoyed that. I still do a lot of that kind of work, and
well, if this doesn't work out, we'll all see you in Nigeria, okay?
Yeah,
because that'll be your first assignment
the
someplace.
treaties and those treaties would be a little tricky.
Yeah. Is that
I
where
was
we're going
sanctioned.
first?
Well, they always give the rookies the small, tiny countries that nobody cares about. It's like,
Yeah. Like people were like, "Oh, you did economic sanctions." I was like, "Yeah, my team might have written the ones for Russia." So I actually had some friends on that team. So not the team you want to be on, but yeah, that's actually what I was trained to do in school. So funny enough, that came up.
I think we should go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, let's all go.
Russia? I'm cool. I don't.
Not right now.
No,
Let's-
no.
Not there, but we should go.
Hard pass.
I don't know. We could go someplace fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
So if we suddenly see some really bizarre economic sanctions coming up against Canada, we'll know that the leg yield argument went south.
Yes.
I was like, "Oh, I'm winning this, Bill. You're not going to import your whiskey anymore, buddy."
I think I'm with Jamie. Jamie knows probably the answer to this. I'd love to be back on stage making no money like Kristen up there hiding out making crafts. But I'd definitely like to be back on stage sometime. It's funny because Jamie and I have talked about this many times. Obviously what we do gets laughs, and we know that because we get a lot of feedback, but it's not immediate. So being on stage, you get that immediate feedback, whether it sucks or it's good, right? And there is something to be said for that. And Jamie, you got that. I mean, you did enough gigs and events and things like that when you were in radio, that immediate feedback, there's a lot to be said for that. I do miss that.
Well, I mean, too, you do have some immediate feedback, and that is making you laugh or you making me laugh. I mean, what you told me one time, you said, my favorite thing that you've ever said to me, and I've said it a few times, several times, is after the show, I'm like, you were funny today.
Yep. We've done that to each other.
He's like, I love when you say that. I'm like, well, I'm going to say it when you're funny. So, bring it.
So it only took 3,000 episodes to get you to say that a few times.
I said it.
That's when we're not fighting, apparently.
Now it's a party again. Yes, I'm going to listen tomorrow because I want to hear all about it.
No, it's good to, there's some good immediate feedback in radio, and it's just the people that you surround yourself with. And that's, I think, where the most important part of what we do. And you were asking, final thoughts for the year. It's like Reese and Philip complement each other. They trust each other. They do a good show. Kristen and Joy do this great show. They work great together. Lisa fills in with Glenn and with me because we both trust her and she works great with us. And so it's kind of the formula of having a successful podcast. Not only you can't have a successful podcast if you yourself don't believe in it. And that is, I think, why we're all here, is because what we do, we really believe in, aside from, leg yields. Other than that, everything is fine.
I'm right.
Aside from that one thing.
Yeah. I think the other part is that we have a topic that, whether it's Reese or I or anyone who's been on the horse radio, like the horses are just the glue that sticks it all together. And the guests that we bring on are passionate about horses, passionate about training horses, or, whatever their topic. And like when we ask people to come on the show and they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. What do I say? I just say, and we just say, you know what, we'll get you going. And then like the guests take over and it's like, because you love what you do, you love interacting with horses, and our listeners love the topics, no matter what. The passion, comes from ourselves, and then it leaks to our guests, and then it leaks to our listeners. And we've all, kind of just become this happy, self-fulfilling, family.
And it's true. I mean, what's unique about our show is Philip and I, our day jobs, we're both trainers. And so we really just literally call our friends and just say, listen, and a lot of them now have been on the show. So they're really easy and they know what it's going to be. And I think that comes out in the show is we're so passionate about it, but it's literally like, I feel like Phil and I would have those conversations having some wine by the fire. Like we like to talk about horses. We like to talk about training horses, and we basically bring people on that enjoy it as well. So,
well, that's what makes it good is it's like you're having a conversation with each other about what you do. I mean, training horses is what I am certainly passionate about, and Kristen is, and Jenn is, and Lisa, she works with all these different types of horses and people, and we're all here because of that and because of what we do, and we all love it and believe in it, and what a cool outlet to be able to sit here and talk about it as well.
But that really comes through, I think, with the listeners too, because they sense that and they know how real it is. And it really is a family, and it's a family of all the shows and all the hosts, but all the listeners as well. And it's just a wonderful community that has gone around the world, really. And it's just this amazing thing. And the horses are the glue, but the people and the personalities, are what really keeps it together.
I love you all.
I like that we're able to, one of the comments we get all the time, especially for the morning show because we're on so often, but one of the comments that we get all the time is that you guys are real, because we do talk about the bad things and the good things. It's not all just joy all the time doing what we do, right? So we talk about the hard things and losing horses and losing animals and losing friends, and we talk about those things, and, and we're just who we are. And I love that this, unlike when Jamie was in radio, I like that this venue of podcasting allows us to be who we are, to be authentic and to be real. And, I can't speak for Jamie, but I know in radio that that's not always allowed. So, because they nitpick everything you say, but we can do that here. And I think that's why podcasting has taken off, because people were ready for real again. They didn't want sanitized. You know, even the reality shows on TV are sanitized, right?
You could be real in radio. You just have 17 seconds. I'm going to go to commercial. Now I'm going to play another song by Pink.
That's funny. All right. I want to go around the horn here. Just remind everybody what your show is. And if you have any last final words for the year you want the listeners to hear. So, Kristen.
Well, Kristen Bentley with Retired Racehorse Radio, the new co-host. And my final thoughts for the year are just, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to talk about horses with horse people and be part of this awesome family. So thanks for bringing me along for the ride.
We're glad to have you. You're a good addition. We'll keep you.
Oh, good.
Lisa.
Oh, Lisa Wysocki, Celebs with Horses, coming soon. And then also, fill in co-host for Horses in the Morning. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful for all the people that I've met through Horse Radio Network, all the listeners and the people, who are the hosts and even the producers. I'm just so grateful for everybody, because so many of them have become really dear and true friends. And I just really treasure that.
Very good. Phil.
Philip Parks from Dressage Radio Show. Listen in, and I truly appreciate Glenn and all he's done to create this community that I get to be a part of, and the auditors, and just in the last 2 years through the pandemic, I think this is one of the things that has really kind of kept me going, and talking to Reese, and just having a friend to converse with. I just really, through those hard times, have really appreciated all of it, and I thanking the auditors for their, they will email us, and those social interactions that maybe I wouldn't have had, while we were in lockdown, and all of that terrible stuff that we got through. So. Thank you very much, and happy holidays. We, appreciate Glenn getting us together for this holiday show.
Well, I got to thank you. You're the one that reminded me we should do this. So thank you, Phil.
I sent you an email. I was like, are we going to do this year or whatever? I was, missing it, missing talking to you. Like I said in the beginning, when you were our producer and Jenn was on now and again, I was just like, we should get together, have our holiday party,
Yeah. Well, Reese, anything to add to that?
I have to echo Philip Parks. So I'm Reese Koffler Stanfield, and Dressage Radio Show. Again, you look back 10 years and I laugh, because I thought this was temporary. And now you're going to have to work hard to get rid of me, Glenn and Phil. But no, truly. People say, how can you do 700 episodes of dressage? And I was like, oh, we got more. We have more. And truly, like Phil said, the relationships that have come out of this show have been amazing. And from Glenn and Jenn and our producer, Paul, during the pandemic, again, I will look back, and Thursday night, I got to hang out with Phil and Paul. Travis would join us sometimes, and have a beer, because really we record on Thursday nights. And what else were we doing? But Paul was in England, Phil was in Canada. So it was just fun to have people around the world that we got to talk with and chat with, and then our listeners. So I agree. I will look back on the pandemic and all the horrible things, but just the community that we had here at the Horse Radio Network was amazing. So, and Glenn and Jenn, who knew, my friends, but I'm very grateful that I and wish you guys all happy holidays, and looking forward to another amazing year.
I'm glad I begged you all those years ago.
I know, right? I don't even know how. I don't know how I'm sitting here, and even
I had to get down on one knee and pledge my life to get her to come on this show.
She's like, come on, do this. I was like, I don't know, but no, I'm glad I said yes, and that has been a motto. And I tell people, and I use this analogy a lot when I teach college as well. And I just said, thankfully, I said yes, and I think that so many times when you can say yes to an opportunity. Just try it. Who knew podcasts 10 years ago? We'd have this many episodes and we'd be a part of this amazing family yeah, I'm so glad I said yes. I hope more people say yes to great opportunities because you never know where it'll take you.
Very good. Thanks, Reese. And Jamie?
Well, it's an echo of all the things you said, which I think the root word is grateful. Grateful for the horses, grateful for the people, the listeners. There's segments that we do on our show that I used to have to research and get all this work put together, and now they submit it. I'm so grateful for all the listeners participating and sending messages. And, this show, Glenn has always laughed because and my husband appreciates it because it's therapy and I get to talk to somebody else about horses as opposed to him. It's true. Like I can talk to you guys about it and the people listening. And I'm really pretty excited for something that happened to Glenn and Jenn, which is selling the network. Congratulations. Equine Network has come in and it's been seamless and it's just been...
on your end, it's been seamless.
Adults are talking.
Thank you.
For me, it was great.
We love it.
Yeah, it's been great. So, I mean, I know it's a lot of work for you, but you had this dream and created this thing and somebody found enough value in it to purchase it because of what you believed in. So I'm grateful for this job and for all the people here and all the people listening and without a doubt of people that have adopted off the track thoroughbreds from me because I talked about them on the show. It's insane how many people that listen to the show have a thoroughbred that came through my barn. And that is definitely probably one of the proudest things I've ever been of in my life is what I've been able to help those guys. So, just grateful to all of you. And, like I said earlier, I love you guys.
Love you too, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, Jennifer.
All the things everybody else said. Horse Tip Daily, by the way, as well as you'll hear me over there on the Horsemanship Radio Show and Healthy Critters and Mary Kitzmiller's monthly show and Karen Chatton's monthly show.
She actually hosts more than all of us.
But
go ahead.
I am incredibly thankful that I said, to use Reese's words, I said yes to an opportunity when Glenn asked if I would help him out with the Horse Radio Network way back when, because I had a different job. And he said, come over and help me with this. And I'm glad I did, because the opportunities I've had to meet and learn from so many people is just unfathomable. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would have been able to learn the things that I have just by talking to these people, the guests, co-hosts, people I casually get to know because we're doing some remote broadcast, people I meet at trade shows, because I'm a serial learner. It's just been the best journey ever to be able to do that. And the best part is it never ends, because it's just a constant parade of new and interesting and knowledgeable people every single day. And that's, I think, the key to the community that we've built is members of the community look at it that way. It's just a constant stream of new things to learn. Sometimes the things are completely useless, like the origin of the chuck wagon. We didn't need to know that, but it was great. And sometimes it's really practical, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm just proud to be the other half of Glenifer.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. And, I'm going to end with a couple of things. There's some individuals I want to call out, too, that I haven't had a chance to yet. Obviously, all of you. We have 50 hosts now on the Horse Radio Network. Wow. And you might be asking, how did this group get here and not the other 40-some, right? These are the hosts of the shows that are directly owned by the Horse Radio Network. That's how we determine who's going to be on here. And, I want to thank Jennifer. wasn't difficult. It was a very time-consuming year because of all the due diligence for selling the company. That takes months and months and months, and it's constantly, provide these records and those records, and it's just something you have to do when you sell a company. That's the way it is. It's not like they were harder on us than any other company would have been, right? They were great about it, and they were very happy with everything we provided, but it was a lot of work for Jennifer because she's the bookkeeper and accountant. And by the way, she hates being a bookkeeper and accountant. So that is one job she is glad to get rid of.
She's offloaded it. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah.
So thank you, dear, for spending all those nights putting all those thousands of reports together. There were 100 PDFs that we finally got together to do all this process. So, and thank you to everybody at Equine Network. They truly were really great to work with. Their lawyers were great.
Patient.
Our lawyer, who happens to be our producer's brother, was terrific. So he was terrific. So all of that. But, all the hosts and the listeners, obviously, you guys are what makes this, and you have for 14 years. Our auditors who help support us financially. But more than that, they're family. They're our family. They visit us here at the house when they come to Ocala. We meet them over at the World Equestrian Center. They sit in on shows here. They came this year. We got a new house. We had a lot of changes this year. We got a new house, and auditors came and helped us paint and put furniture together. They drove hours up here, 10 or 12 of them, to help us paint. The one couple was from California and just happened to be in town, and they spent an entire day painting. So, where else does that happen? So that's kind of cool. But there are a couple individuals too. Helena, who isn't here because she's actually hosting one of the shows that's not Horse Radio Network anymore. She owns that show. But she was my first co-host all those years ago and took a chance and did Stable Scoop with me and has been on many of these Christmas calls. And also Dr. Wendy. I got to call her out this year because a lot of people don't know that she owned part of the Horse Radio Network. When we were broke all those years ago and couldn't pay Jamie, when we first started and things were really tight, Wendy invested in the company and she didn't want paid back. She said, just pay me back someday when you sell the company. So she got a payoff this year. And oh, by the way, she drove up here from Sarasota to get that check, and was very happy to get it. But for us, it was, more than handing her a check that she was very happy to get. It was just the feeling of, we did it. And she took a chance 12 years ago. So, and, we were nothing back then. Nobody knew what a podcast was. So I want to thank Dr. Wendy for that too, because she really was, we would not be here if she hadn't invested in the company. So thank you. Jamie would have quit some time ago.
I remember you saying, well, I guess we should just, things got tough for a while and you were like, we should just not do this anymore. And I was like, let's cut it back. Let's go to 3 days a week and see if we can catch up. And I wasn't going to let you get rid of me that easy. It takes more than not paying me for months at a time, but it's fine.
A lot of people don't realize that every business goes through that. I mean, you do it. And it's tough, unless you have somebody who believes in you, it's hard to get through those years. And Dr. Wendy, and Jamie, obviously, but Dr. Wendy was the person that believed with her checkbook, so thank you to her. I specifically wanted to mention that.
And our sponsors, we have Kentucky Performance Products, Karen Isberg from
and she just renewed for next year, by the way.
I love her. Yeah. She's
fantastic.
The best.
She's so great. Yeah. But your longest serving sponsor would be Kentucky Performance Products. Yeah. And
my barn my feed room is like a KPP commercial.
Karen has sponsored me also privately for many years. And people always ask why my horses look so good. And I was like, let me show you. But no,
she doesn't sponsor me personally. I buy all of the stuff and
it's worth it. I would buy it too. Oh, yeah. I would buy it too. No, hands down. I wouldn't feed it if I wouldn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? And they're amazing products and she's a huge part of my success, but their company specifically, their customer service is amazing. Yeah. And I call her, I'm like, I got a problem. She's like, no worries. We got this.
I've called her and been like, I have this horse. She's like, well, let's talk. And we'll walk through the whole process with you on the diet and what they're doing and blah, blah, blah. It's pretty cool. They're just an awesome company, Philip.
Okay, I'm writing this down. She sponsors Friday on Horses in the Morning, so I know where this episode is going right there.
It's worth it. But I think that actually is really important to say. We won't sponsor any company or use the products that we don't personally, we try everything. And if we don't like it, and we have turned some down. So Philip and I think Glenn and everyone's the same. Like if we don't like the products, we don't use the products.
And we have 30 some sponsors. We called out Karen specifically because she was our first sponsor when we had on Stable Scoop when we had 12 listeners. And she just said, I think this is going to be something someday. I'm going to be here. So, there's vision for you. But yes, thank you, Phil, for that. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And have a terrific New Year.
Happy holidays.
So good to do this again. Now, auditors, hang on. I have one more question for everybody in the Auditor Post Show. And you become an auditor, go to horseradionetwork.com and click on the auditor banner right there. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Love you guys.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.